Hey guys, Mrs. Smecta here. In this lesson, I'm going to be teaching you about protractors and how to measure various different angles, and we're going to throw a little algebra in the mix. So I hope you are ready to go. Here, I'm just going to talk over with you how to measure using a protractor. So this is what a protractor looks like. And then you would have an angle, like maybe say on your paper, and you would lay your protractor on top of the angle. So in the middle, and every protractor is kind of different, so you have to pay attention, but for this protract, here in the middle is where you would put the vertex of the angle, making sure that the bottom of the angle lines up with the 0 degree mark. Okay, then you just come along here, you find where the second angle, where the second ray is. Okay, so this angle measure would be in between here. Okay, so from 0 to 60 degrees. So this would be a 60-degree angle. So just read these through real quick to remind yourself. So you line the bottom of the protractor with one side of the angle. You line the center of the protractor on the vertex of the angle. You find where the second side of the angle aligns with the angle's degree measure on the protractor. And it's not always going to be perfect. It might be, 62. So knowing that, we can answer some questions here. So what is the measure shown? Okay, well, the angle goes from here to here. You go up. This one's pretty easy. This is a 90-degree angle. Don't forget your degree sign. That would be considered your label. Okay, in this example, I'm going to drag this down a little bit. Okay, so I want to know, is the measure of the angle 130 degrees or 50 degrees? Explain your reasoning. So it's easy to look at this and say, okay, well, there's a 50 and there's a 130. Okay, but you got to remember that here's the start of the angle, here's the end of the angle. The inside of the angle is from here. So we're measuring from right here over to the left. So that would be from 0, and you follow this all the way around to 130. Okay, we're not measuring from the left side. And you can also tell that it is an obtuse angle. Okay, so it has to be greater than 90 degrees. 50 degrees is not greater than 90, but the 130 is. Okay, so let's use our protractor to find the measure of these different angles that we have listed here. So first I want to know, what is the measure of angle WAR? So WAR would be this angle here. So just follow it's acute. So I'm going to follow the small numbers around. WAR would be 50 degrees. All right, what is the measure of angle RAX? So we have R, A is the vertex, X to the next ray. So we've got this angle here, which I'll color in red. This is an obtuse angle, so we're going to be looking, we started small, going, all the way over to 130. So RAX is 130 degrees. Okay, and what about angle WAX? Angle WAX. We have WAX. Well, I start on one side, I clear over to the other side. It is a straight line, making that 180 degrees. It is the same distance all the way around the protractor. So, measuring angles is pretty simple. Okay, let's throw some algebra in here. We're going to be writing equations and solving for the missing angle measure. So this wants us to find the value of x. So since the two angles form a right angle, they are complementary. We can tell that they form a right angle because it has the little box down here in the corner. That means it equals 90 degrees. So these two angles added together equal 90 degrees. So all I have to do is 28 plus 2x equals 90 degrees. Okay, and then you would just solve this equation. So subtract 28 from both sides. If you don't know how to solve equations, you can go watch my solving equations video to review. So then we have 2x equals 62 divide both sides by 2, x equals 31 degrees. Alright, so I want you to try this one. So pause and go for it. Okay, did you get x equals 19? If you did, nice job. You can kind of fast forward to the next problem. If not, you should keep watching. You would do this by doing 123 plus 3x equals, well, I can tell here that these two angles, if you put them together, they would form a straight line, if I could somehow magically draw a straight line with this pen. Okay, so a straight line is 180 degrees, and then you just solve this equation. We would subtract 123. Our new equation would be 3x equals 157. Divide both sides by 3. X equals 19. Alright, you are now going to try this one, so pause and try. Okay, if you got x equals 45, then you're good to go. There's one last example you can fast forward to. If you did not get x equals 45, you would do x plus x equals 90. Okay, if this is complementary, this is complementary also, because they're both on, wow, I don't know what's happening there. I dragged to that somehow. Sorry about that. Okay, so altogether this is 180 degrees. So if this side is 90, then these two angles here would also have to be 90 degrees. So we end up with x plus x is 2x equals 90. Then we would divide both sides by 2, and x would be 45 degrees. Alright, last thing I'm going to talk about, and I should have drawn a picture, but an angle bisector. Okay, if you bisect something, think about that for a second. What does it mean to bisect? Okay, well, if you ride a bicycle, you have 2 wheels. Okay, so if I have an angle, you know, my pretty angle here, and I bisect it, that means I'm going to cut it exactly in half. Now, in a perfect world where I had used straight lines, if the green angle had been 90 degrees and I bisected the green angle, then these two angles would be 45 degrees. Okay, so an angle bisector is an angle or a line that cuts it exactly in half, and then each side would equal the same thing. Alright, that is it, all I have for you for angles today. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.